It's the last week of being on fire. Of course, we hope that you continue to be on fire after this challenge. The challenge ends officially on the 17th, I believe, or maybe it's the 19th. I probably should check my calendar. The challenge ends on the 17th. The 19th, there will be a JuvaFit commit final call to kind of give you some nuggets to carry on until the next challenge. And also next week, just a reminder that there are 2 final check-ins. There's week number 9 check-in, like what you normally have been doing the last 8 weeks. And then there's an overall JuvaFit challenge check-in after that. The move of the week is side steps. These are really good. A lot of people don't do side movements. We walk forwards and we rarely walk backward. So walking side to side really helps build up different muscles within your hips and everything. So you can take 3 steps to the side. You can touch your toe, or you can just take 3 steps to the other side. So there's different variations. Some people are skipping side to side. I'm just walking side to side with my arms out and then touching my left hand to my right foot. And then when I go the other way, my right hand to my left foot. So it's a great way to end the 1-minute moves of the week. I'm trying to challenge myself to do 1:20, and I'm still working up to 1 minute. So we all start where we can, and we just try to get better and better every day. Any questions?
No, but I realized this week, because our bathroom doors are really narrow to go into our bathroom. And I realized this week I'm actually sidestepping into the bathroom and sidestepping out. So I've been doing that all along.
Well, that's a wonderful move to do, but when you do it like 3 times one way and 3 times the other way, it helps to build balance, and it also helps to build those side muscles that maybe don't get used normally,
Right.
like you're walking to and from the car or whatever. So yeah, it's the side movement moves are really interesting. I remember one challenge, we had to lift our knee up and rotate our knee and then come back to our foot to our knee and put it down. And that was interesting because it rotates the hip and the pelvis differently. So I like the side movements because they're not your normal movements. And the whole goal of the moves of the week is for functional movement. And by that, I mean, if you get yourself in trouble, you can move a different way other than just back and forth. So I really like the moves of the week, and they've been very challenging. So, okay. This is it. This is the final week. I can't even believe it. It's just been an interesting challenge for me, and with traveling, trying to stay on track, which I did for the most part. If I fell off and I got right back on. But the 2 things I want to talk about is, number 1, what is your non-negotiable after having gone through this challenge? What is something that you will always do no matter if you're on or off a challenge? For me, my non-negotiable is staying true to myself and making sure that I continue to make good choices, even if I don't have a perfect day or a perfect meal. I just keep moving forward, because what I've learned over the last 4 years is that it's the persistent and consistent choices overall that has really helped improve my overall health and wellness. And my takeaway this challenge has been to really focus on different types of movement, especially when it's nasty out and it's disgusting. So what I've been doing this challenge is waking up really, really early, because I have a little baby boy that I can walk now, a new puppy. And so we're doing our walks at 6:30 in the morning. I don't normally like to get up at 5:45 or 6 in the morning to do that, but that's what I've been doing because I really wanted to stay true to my commitment to challenge myself. And we're getting in a 20 to 30 minute walk every day, depending on how icky it is out, because sometimes that humidity can really kind of sap your strength. So my goal was to try to do some sort of movement, even if it was only 20 minutes, just to make sure that I got that in first thing in the morning, and that really starts my day out right. So Cheryl, what are your non-negotiables that you will always do for here and forevermore, and what was your biggest takeaway?
So the getting the movement in, even though I'm not able to do a lot of what I used to could do, but every day, even sitting at my desk, just any kind of movements that I can do with my legs and stretches and different things, and then doing things at home too that I can do. I mean, I've gone into the bathroom at work and, done the wall push-ups and different things. And so just trying to get that movement in every day and being consistent with that. I
That's
want to
awesome.
continue that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
And
wonderful.
it's really been helpful to me. And I don't know that we've really talked about it much, but I've really seen the need to journal my emotions instead of eating them. And so that's been basically my takeaway from this.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I was talking with somebody at my 50th high school reunion this weekend. She lost 93 pounds, went through a stressful phase in her life and gained 30 of it back. And she was really disappointed. And I said, but you still have lost that 63 pounds that you don't need to climb back up to. So she's now focused on journaling things, because I too am an emotional eater. That was a mouthful. And so what I find is, putting a sticky note on the refrigerator that says, really? Or, moving my office upstairs. So now I have to walk down a flight of steps with the dog behind me before I can even get to the kitchen. So it's nice that I'm further away, other than the 4 steps away, and having the refrigerator looking at me all day, which has been very helpful. So, but journaling and writing, and even if you have an emotional moment and you do eat in that, it's always good to write down why. Because what I was learning was that when I had emotional times as a child, my mother fed me specific foods, and that was my go-to for my soothing, if you will. You know how kids kind
Mhm.
of suck their thumb and do that sort of a thing. So it's very eye-opening to journal about your emotions. It's very eye-opening. And it might even be good to journal about how you could do it differently. So
Yeah.
for example, you know, I know that I just walked to the refrigerator for whatever because I'm so stressed out because of work or whatever. And today I'm so proud of myself because I did ... The power of writing that and having the written affirmation of seeing it, and even if you're writing it down and you're reading it out loud, the power of that is very powerful in getting the mind right, because it really is all here, right?
Hmm.
It's all about what you choose to honor yourself with or against. So there's no point in beating yourself up, because that doesn't serve you well. But there's also that moment. For me, there was that moment where what I teach people is pause, assess, reflect. So instead of having that knee-jerk response, just kind of press the pause button and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I doing this behavior, which I know is not serving my health well? And how could I do it differently? So that's why, for me, the pre-planning of every single thing, because there are times when at 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm bored and I want to eat. It's not because I'm hungry. It's because That's what I've always done. So if I have pre-prepped healthy snacks, at least I'm making better choices for myself. And then I'm asking myself, do I really need that snack at 2 or 3 o'clock? One of the things that I've been doing this week is not doing the snack at 2 or 3 o'clock. I've been waiting until dinner because it's not that I'm hungry. It's just that that's what I trained myself to do. I don't know why. I could
Kind of like
analyze it.
Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah, it's just that's just something this silly. It was always a time that I came downstairs to take a dog out to go potty, walking by the refrigerator and I'm being like, what can I eat? And so now I have pre-prepped keto snacks, or I'll just have some peanuts, or I'll just take out a piece of white American cheese and put a little bit of peanut butter on it. So it's like, okay, there it is, but at least there's some protein, there's some fat, at least there's something that's not like overkill on the sugar or overkill on the protein. It's just a little something. Now I find that most days I don't even want it. So it's just a matter of being cognizant and aware of why.
Mm-hmm. Good
When
point.
I was with a functional nutritional doctor, she told me to write down the times of day that I had these things. And by journaling, you really see the pattern. And the pattern for me is between 2 and 3. Now, on the trip, on vacation, interestingly, I was so busy having so much fun, I didn't even think about it. So when I got home, I'm like, okay, well, you really didn't think about it. So this is a habit you can break at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be, but it does start here before anything else follows. That's awesome. So your non-negotiable is some sort of movement every day, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And your takeaway was journaling your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. I'm happy for you. I think you've made
Thank you.
some big strides. I know it's not happening as fast as you want it to, but it's those day-to-day choices that make you feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, you start to make better choices. It's all kind of a snowball effect, right?
Exactly.
Just like if you're feeling badly about yourself and you start eating and then the house starts getting away from you, that's a snowball effect. So we're wanting to do the reverse snowball effect. So I would encourage you to keep choosing yourself. I'm always here for you, always. I'm always here for everyone. And there are times when you need that support. There are times when I'll call my sister and say, I need you to talk me out of this. So, we all need that support system. And I hope that I can provide that for you whenever you need it.
Yeah, you've been
So
excellent. I have appreciated that so much.
thank you. Thank you. And I don't know if you had a chance to watch the commit call last night, but it was a good call. Tim Gunter was on a slippery slope with his health. He's lost 140 pounds. And he was saying how it didn't happen in 9 weeks, right? It's not going to, not the long lasting sustaining weight loss. Like I have a lot of friends that have done fast weight loss with other systems and they gain it right back. What we want is that slow and steady decline so that we never, ever, ever find those pounds again. We might find 1 or 2, but we really want them to go away, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's really a lifestyle commitment to yourself and a lifestyle change. And so you're changing the day-to-day habits. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like being an addict. It's like a drug addict or an alcoholic, or I used to
Mm-hmm.
smoke cigarettes. It's the day-to-day choices that makes it seem less and less desirable. And I promise you, the more you move away from the bad stuff, the better you'll feel. And the better you feel, the less tempting it is because you don't want to feel like shit again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a powerful thing to be able to empower yourself. I remember when we were with the other company, people were like, you'll look at that and you won't even want it. And I'm like, I don't think so. But there are times when, like when I was on my trip, they offered me a fresh baked chocolate chip cookie. I could have had a half a dozen if I wanted it. I just took the one. I enjoyed it. I forgave it and didn't have a desire to like eat a ton of them. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. It was warm out of the oven, even worse. But I also knew that I could enjoy that. You know, you only live once, right? And then I could get right back on track. So that's that's the fun part of it, because you don't have to do keto, you don't have to do paleo, you don't have to be a diehard vegetarian, you don't have to do any of those things. But you do have to be cognizant of how food affects your health, how your stools look when you
Mm-hmm.
fall off the cart, how your behind feels if you get yourself in trouble by eating too much stuff that doesn't serve you well. Those types of things to journal are really important. I had some tomatoes the other day and enjoyed them, but I can't enjoy a lot of them because it really messes with my system. But I had just enough where I enjoyed it. It didn't jack my system up, and life went on. So it's interesting. It's interesting, especially when you're journaling or plugging in, your food and your calories and everything. So,
Yeah, I
well,
got to look at that a little more. I hadn't really thought about that, how the different foods are affecting me. So yeah, that's probably the
the
next
Bristol, the
step.
Bristol stool sample chart, which I think I've shared with you once before. If you don't have it, let me know and I can resend it to you. But when you poop, your poop should be like a sausage, like an Italian sausage looking kind of poop. If it's too liquid or is too constipated, then that's information telling you I had too much fiber, I had too much sugar. If you're constipated, you have too much protein, not enough fat. It's a good way to kind of gauge what you're putting in your body. And as you're journaling everything that you're putting into your mouth, you start to see those patterns. And that was what the functional and nutritional doctor I worked with taught me. And she's like, if you will pay attention to your bowel movements and the way that it looks, so, when it comes out like a sausage, you probably have the right balance of fats, protein, water. If you get really, really constipated, you're probably not hydrated enough. If you're drinking 64 ounces, maybe you need 100 ounces, maybe, and those are the things that as you journal everything, you start to see the pattern. And now I just know. I don't know how to explain it, but I've written, I committed to 6 months of writing everything down. It was painful. I hated it. But I journaled everything because it really taught me about how my body processes food. For example, we went to a favorite pizza place in St. Louis. It's called Emo's Pizza. And we always get a large and we split it. Normally, the two of us inhale half of it apiece. But this time, we kind of portioned ourselves. We only ate like a fourth of it. And then I also learned from a book that I'm reading that eating the vegetables first. Now, in a pizza, it's a little bit harder to do, but if you're presented a meal and you eat the vegetables first, it will slow your roll on your protein and your carb because the vegetables will fill you up and they're nutritional and they get the digestive system going in the right way. So I've been really paying attention to how I eat, as well as what I eat, and as well as how often I eat. Because if your body doesn't get a chance to digest and you're constantly feeding it, your adrenals go on overload, and that's when the inflammation comes. So if you're pacing yourself and trying to stretch out the time between your eating, that's very helpful for your body to be able to process the foods that you're eating, because the food is basically, its function is to nourish the body and to get your amino acids and everything in balance so that you have a good immune system and that you're healthy. So it's really been interesting, because every single challenge I learned something different. And what I'm noticing is that by consciously eating the vegetables first, even if it's like a burrito, like a low carb burrito, eating the lettuce first and then eating everything else is slowing down what I'm eating. It's amazing.
Hmm.
So just some nuggets. Like I said, I learned it here or there by osmosis. I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I just know what's worked for me. And I know that really being consciously aware has been what's changed it for me. I walked 12,000 steps the first part of this week.
Oh, wow.
Not ever have I done that. My feet were sore. They were a little bit inflamed, but I put them in some Epsom salts and they were fine. So, and I don't hurt as much as I would have even a year ago. So, and I didn't say, okay, today I'm going to walk 12,000 steps. It's just how the day worked out, because I was all over the place, in and out of the car and just doing all sorts of things that brought me joy. I didn't pay any attention to it. And I looked at my phone and it was going off and it was like, woohoo, you've reached an all-time goal. And I'm like, yay me.
Right.
So, it is what it is. My average day, I probably walk 6,000 steps a day.
Mm.
Some days are 8, some days are 4, some days are 9. It's rare that I push to the 10,000, because I'm really more about quality of movement than a specific number. So
Mm.
it's just interesting. But I started out on the challenge. This is my 8th challenge. I started out on the first challenge happy if I could get 1,000 steps a day in. That's how much pain I was in.
I can relate to that. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but the more you move, the more the blood gets flowing. The more the blood gets flowing, the more things that start happening that are good within your body. So just try to do a little more every day. I really believe you can do it. I really do believe that. So
Yep.
you can.
I can.
You're already doing things you didn't think you could, right?
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. So every day you just try to be a little bit better version of yourself than you were yesterday. That's all we ever do. Any of us try to do a little bit better. Tim Gunter talked about that. Every day try to do a little bit more. I don't see myself running marathon, nor do I have any desire to run a marathon, but it felt good to hike up inside of some foothills in some low-lying mountains and walking down and not having every joint in my body hurt. It felt good to be out in nature. So took me 4 years to get there, but I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
So, all right, my friend, I'm here for you to support you in any way that you need. And you want to see my dog?
Sure.
Roscoe, come here. Come here, baby. Come here.
Oh, I
He is
just hugged
like,
Roscoe.
oh my gosh, he has so much energy. Like, this challenge, when I was walking around the block, I was strolling. Now I've picked up the pace. Megan talked about that at one of the last, what in the world's happened here? At one of the last challenges, And she was saying, fit, pick up the intensity. This is an amazing coach. He has more energy than Pepe Le Pew, don't you? So he's my baby. He's my
Aw, he's sweet.
pace setter, and he is active. Was not ready for that, but God blesses us in interesting ways.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. I don't need one of those though. Not at this point yet.
No, no. He's running around in circles right now. So, all right, girlfriend. Stay well, stay blessed, stay focused. And I'm this far away from you at all times. All right.
Awesome. Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you for finishing the
Thank
challenge.
you. Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Me
Bye.
too. Bye-bye.